Stoic Fire, Viking Courage. Build unshakable self-belief like ancient warriors. Chapter 1, Forge Your Inner Shield. Long ago, in the marble halls of Rome, the Emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote in his own mind a quiet reminder. The obstacle on the path is the path. Even as he marched into battle, he kept this phrase etched in his heart, turning each challenge into a piece of armor. Far to the north, a Viking shield-bearer stood in the glare of fire, hearing the thunder of hammer blows and the pounding of sea waves as a drumbeat of courage. Both men, masters of discipline, let the chaos outside become the fire that forged their inward strength. The insight is simple yet profound. Self-belief does not arise from constant triumph, but from confronting fear, failure, and fatigue with stoic acceptance. When a storm rolls in, the hardy shield-bearer sees no end but an opportunity to test his resolve. Marcus Aurelius, strapped with steel, understood that the greatest enemy lies within the mind, and that by mastering the mind one may conquer any external threat. How can you apply this today? Begin each morning with a mental barbell exercise. Write down 3 scenarios that could unsettle you: an unexpected client call, a heated meeting, a traffic jam, and mentally rehearse calm, purposeful responses. Repeating this drill reconditions your brain to recognize adversity as training rather than crisis. This simple tool transforms an anxious heart into an unshakable fortress, ready for any battle the day presents. Conclusion: the shield you forge begins with a single belief, that you can endure, adapt, and rise. Call to action: if this fire stoked a spark in you, like, share, and subscribe so we can keep building our inner walls together. Reflective question: when you face an obstacle today, will you see it as a challenge to add to your armor or as a threat to your sanity? Chapter 2, Lightning in the Storm. Picture the great Viking explorer Leif Erikson, casting his eyes over the vast, uncharted Atlantic. He charted his course with a steady hand, guided by the North Star, and knew every wave could either crush or propel his ship. Meanwhile, ancient Stoics taught that the universe moves by law. Disturbances are merely the universe's way of revealing what can be balanced with reason. Leif's courage lay not in reckless daring, but in disciplined trust, in navigating each storm with calm resolve. Lesson: courage without resilience is a fleeting flash. Unshakable self-belief is the steady lightning that persists through tempests. The Stoic view that we are judged not by the storms we avoid, but by how we respond in their worst moments, underscores that true leadership is weathering crisis with composure. Apply this on the job by turning performance reviews or client rejections into a wind tunnel experiment. Ask, what assumptions about my value were challenged? How can I refine my work? The feedback becomes an arrow of light, not a lightning strike of shame. Conclusion: lightning is a gift that passes on if you're prepared to harness it. Call to action: like, share, and subscribe for more wisdom that keeps your fire alive, even when the storms rage. Reflective question: when a setback occurs, do you allow the wind to push you onto a new path, or do you let it block your way? Chapter 3, Calm Within the Skies. On a clear, star-filled Icelandic night, a Viking chieftain would sit by the hearth and listen to the wind howl outside. He would recall the teachings of the Stoics. Nothing that we experience is outside our control. What matters is our choice in how we interpret it. In this moment, the chieftain taught his warriors that they need not fear the roar of the wind. It is the chieftain's heart that must remain steady. The story of Diogenes the cynic, who walked in a city and found no virtue, yet carried on with a laugh, reminds us that inner peace outstrips external noise. Stoics and Vikings share a love for the solitary moment where fear dissolves into clear purpose. Modern application: when the day seems chaotic, traffic, emails, deadlines, pause for a single minute of breathing. Visualize the wind swirling around you, but picture your anchor, your core belief, steadfast at the center. The breath becomes a calm sky inside the storm so far beyond your reach. Conclusion: inside the great sky of your mind, calm is a constant that no wind can disturb. Call to action: if you appreciate the quiet power of Stoic calm, like, share, and subscribe to keep cultivating it. Reflective question: what does your inner calm look like when the external noise tries to drown it? Chapter 4, The Call of the Hearth. In the saga of the Nibelungen, the warriors returned from battle to the hearth, not to glory, but to the family that had endured their absence. Here the ancient Greeks spoke of the philosophia, the love of wisdom, found not in the battlefield but at home. The Stoic creed that virtue is living in harmony with reason, with the community around us, is mirrored in these moments of quiet. Imagine the Stoic philosopher Epictetus, who once survived chains and slavery, yet proclaimed that it is not the conditions of the world that shape a person, but the interior responses to them. In a world where valor is measured in deeds, the humility of the hearth is the ultimate testament of self-belief. How to use this today? Every evening, reflect on who you served that day, clients, colleagues, family. Write a one-sentence gratitude note that captures the spirit of the service. This reinforces that your beliefs are not just internal but interwoven with the people you touch. Conclusion: the hearth is the hearth of self-belief, constantly fed by the warmth of shared purpose. Call to action: like, share, and subscribe so we can keep the fire of community alive together. Reflective question: in what ways do you serve others today that reinforce your unshakable self-belief? Chapter 5: Rise, Warrior, Rise. A Viking would say, the sea is not to be conquered, but navigated. A Stoic says, we cannot control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond. Together, they preach an unyielding belief that is forged in trial and tempered by purpose. The final lesson is this: your self-belief is not a fixed trait. It is a warrior's sword that sharpens with every swing. The ancient Stoic mindset that life is not a sprint but a marathon invites us to keep sharpening our inner sword slowly but surely. Embrace the small victories, the daily strides, and let them build up into an unshakable conviction that can weather any storm. To apply it now, set a micro goal, an intention that takes a few minutes but aligns with your larger mission. Each time you accomplish it, celebrate. The cumulative confidence will grow into a warrior's certainty. Conclusion: like the Viking who sails across endless horizons and the Stoic who walks the path with a calm heart, your journey of self-belief is ongoing, ever building, ever shining. Call to action: if you feel the fire rising inside, hit like, share this spark, and subscribe for more lessons that keep you moving forward. Reflective question: where will you place your next small goal that will serve as a stepping stone toward your greatest self-belief? Philosophy Spotlight: Stoicism. Stoicism, from its birthplace in Greek philosophy to its zenith in the Roman Empire, remains a timeless guide to living with purpose. At its heart is the belief that while external events are outside our control, our responses are wholly within our power. The philosopher Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who faced war, plague, and personal loss, reminds us that the obstacle on the path is the path. He taught that resilience grows when we view every challenge as a chance to practice virtue. Key lessons for modern life. 1. The dichotomy of control: understand what you can change and what you cannot. By focusing energy on the former, you free yourself from needless frustration. 2. Emotive tranquility: learn to detach from emotional turmoil. Like a still pond reflecting the sky, calmness brings clarity to decisions. 3. Eudaimonia: through reason, live according to rational principles. Integrity, courage, wisdom. These virtues form the backbone for long-term satisfaction and self-confidence. Connecting back to our theme, Stoic Fire and Viking Courage merge. The Vikings' battlefield bravery is amplified when coupled with the Stoics' inner composure. Together, they produce an unshakable self-belief that holds firm regardless of external turbulence. By integrating Stoic practices, daily reflection, mindful breathing, clear goal setting, you forge a psychological shield and forge a heart that can navigate the roughest weather. So, hold fast. Let the fire of Stoic wisdom light your vessel, and let the Viking courage steer it toward uncharted horizons. Thank you for journeying through these lessons. May your inner fortress stand tall, and may your courage guide you to new horizons. If you found this script valuable, please like, share, and subscribe to keep the conversation alive. Let the fire burn bright in your story.